This is 100 days of survival on a rover in a snowstorm. My team has prepared a hardcore survival in the harsh Arctic Circle, where the whole world is limited by a dangerous barrier. To expand my survival zone, I will need to complete tasks from the simplest to the most complex. If I can get to the green biome, then survival will be considered completed. I appeared inside a snowstorm. Around us, there's these wolves with red eyes, a certain amount of resources, and there I can see the rover. My survival began in a small square. There were snow walls on all sides that I couldn't get through. The first thing I decided to do was mine the only block of wood on this map. Already based on this factor, I understood that resources would be limited. We need to act very carefully so that these wolves don't get angry at us, because we still can't get out of this zone, but I think the wolves will be able to pass through pretty easily. In the area of my survival, various bushes, twigs, and even pebbles were scattered all around. By collecting them, I could get starting items. You could knock out sticks from branches and pieces of cobblestone from pebbles, and then turn this from 4 into a real block. I broke the only log, but this tree was beyond the border of the snowstorm, and I couldn't get it in any way. So all I could do was collect pieces of cobblestone, and then I would try to make myself a stone pickaxe. You've probably already noticed this message in the upper right corner of the screen. This message tells me the task that needs to be completed in order to expand the storm. At this point, I need to light the fire. Once I do this, the radius of my survival terrain will expand. And for example, the nearest expansion will allow me to reach the rover. From pebbles, I finally made 3 cobblestones and my first pickaxe. If we had no problems with gravel, then we still need to look for iron. As you can see, the temperature is already at the limit, and we won't survive here for long without some kind of fire. Sooner or later, we'll simply turn into ice. Yes, there was also temperature in this survival, but I didn't have time to think and I just had to find iron quickly. While I was digging, I noted 2 facts for myself. First, it is much warmer in the cave than on the surface. And second, during the entire time I was looking for iron, I couldn't find a single block of dirt. I found the iron, and the time has come for me to melt it down and finally make flint and steel. Oh, wait, yeah, let's go! The zone increased! Now we can go check out our rover. From a small area of less than 1 chunk, we now had access to an area of 50 by 50 blocks. Of course, the first thing that caught my eye was that rover that would play a key role in this survival. And besides this, there was also a station where I hope to find many useful materials. Now I have to fight this wolf! I have very little HP, guys. Wow. Okay, guys, somehow out of panic, I simply avoided this wolf. He can't even jump yet. Oh, look, he dropped 4 leather! Okay, let's clean up this mess. Look at this station and this rover. It's just incredible. As you can see, the storm lags sometimes. Don't pay any attention to that. It's still there. Wow, the doors are opening. Okay, what I'm most interested in is seeing what's over there. To do that, I need to drive it a little bit forward and at the same time check whether it's moving. I want to see what we have in the back of our rover. How do we even get there? So, okay, it turns out that we can go inside. There's computers and some instruments here. I don't know yet why we need this, but I think it's gonna be useful in the future. The rover was incredible, and I really wanted to travel on it. But for now, the territory was very limited. So for now, I left the rover and went inside the building. Apparently, this is some kind of abandoned station. I think that we'll try to make our first base here, because the snowstorm outside is very strong. What just happened? Did you guys see that? And I think that this is the main room. Oh, there's a furnace here. I think with the help of it, we'll probably be able to warm ourselves up. Because right now the temperature here is 5 degrees, which is not enough. We need to make it way warmer. Wild revolver. What? Oh, it looks pretty cool. The only thing is that it only has 1 ammo. Gunpowder, string, sticks, great. And 1 bandage. I'll keep it here for now. Besides this, I also found some food. Pretty good for a first day of survival. Oh, a book with a pen. This base was created for the harshest conditions of the Arctic, but unfortunately, everything has an expiration date. In order for the base to truly withstand the local weather, it needs to be upgraded. And as you can see from all sorts of ice, cobwebs, and the floor, it's pretty obvious. The night was gradually approaching. At night, the temperature will drop a lot. If I don't find a way to create heat inside this building, then most likely my survival will end on the first day. Having sorted out all the boxes in every corner of this place, I was finally able to find some wood and light the furnace for a while. Okay guys, I can warm up a little bit near this thing. Wait, what are those noises coming from outside? That sounds pretty bad. Day 2. The sun even came out in the morning. The beauty from the shaders was simply off the charts. Look, wow, it turns out there is a clear sky. Not counting the fact that we still have these barriers in the form of a snowstorm, which we still can't get over. And this, wait, what is that? Is that a bear? 2 bears? But they turned out to be friendly bears and didn't even attack me. There were grandiose plans for the coming days. First of all, I had to obtain more resources. This concerned, of course, coal and iron. I think that this station can be considered our first home, but it just needs to be well equipped. This will be my second task. Well, probably thirdly, before trying to expand the storm even further, I'll try to explore as much as possible of the area that is available to me now. And I'm sure that there'll be a lot of interesting things here. By the way, in this survival, there's also a special menu where you can track all the tasks that we have completed or can still complete. We have a menu like this. As you can see, we already accomplished something and we have 3 new achievements. Create warm clothes with immunity, tame a penguin, where can I even find it? Find and repair the antenna on the rover. For now, I decided to put the new tasks on the back burner. Let's get some resources first. Having mined a lot of coal and iron, I went back to the station to light the furnace. But not the usual furnace, but a modded one, which made it possible to heat the entire room. While the temperature was rising, I decided to remove the excess cobwebs as well as the icicles. Now, the base seemed at least not so abandoned. Day 3. It started with me cutting down the only tree on our territory and no sapling fell from it. And also, despite the fact that the territory is small, I decided to take a ride on the rover because it seemed really cool to me. Day 4. Now it was possible to say exactly what locations are on our territory. The first is a fairly deep cave. I haven't gone down there yet. The second is we still haven't explored a huge tower, but a part of it is still in the barrier. Well, and thirdly, there was also a small biome of penguins, and the penguins were quite different. Look guys, I found a flock of penguins! There's these small ones, and there's even huge ones. Oh my god! It's a pretty unfriendly penguin, guys! I wish I could figure out how to tame them, but for now, there's no answers yet. That same day, I decided to go to the very deep cave. I hope to find a lot of resources there. Well guys, we have this small cave here. Now I'm gonna go down there. The only thing is, look, a new type of some mobs are there. I've never seen these before. However, I can easily get some coal here. It'll be very, very useful to us, guys. Having dealt with the monsters, I mined almost a stack of coal. This was great and said that we definitely wouldn't freeze in the next couple of days. It really bothers me that I didn't find a single sapling, and I also couldn't find a single block of dirt anywhere. And because of that, we can't grow food, and wood is not an endless resource for us. I see a couple of trees that are outside the storm. And more than that, in that territory, look, there's even some ruins. But on this side, I can also see some houses. I thought it was very important to look at what's on the other side of the door. So, based on this, guys, I think that we need to hurry up with the completion of the new 3 tasks. This way we can at least get wood. I really hope that the saplings will fall out, because in the literal sense of the word, I can't get far in this territory on a rover. Okay, I'm gonna climb up this tower right now. This is probably one of the last places in the area that I haven't yet been to. There's a chest here, okay. Backpack! Great, we now have a backpack and we can carry additional things with us. On day 6, I decided to do a little rearrangement of my base, removing everything that was unnecessary. Guys, there's really a coffee machine here with Tohich's mug in it. Like, what is it even doing here? In place of many decorative things, I decided to make a warehouse out of chests, place more furnaces, and in general use the space more efficiently. You'd be surprised what I found while I was decluttering my house. Under this sofa, there was a secret trap door that led to the basement. What? How didn't I notice it earlier? What if there's some kind of poltergeist or an evil capybara? Capybara, 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 capybara. Okay, that's the lyrics, whatever, let's go. There was a small warehouse inside. I found some bandages, bottles of water, some food supplies, as well as some wire for the rover, a machete, and some blocks, and even wooden spikes. Okay, well, look, there's really good amount of resources here. I'm super interested in the wire from my rover. Maybe I can store it on somewhere and do something with it, I don't know. And the spikes are a really cool thing as well. I immediately decided to place the spikes on the street, because at night, as you remember, wolves often come near me. Besides, I don't know what other monsters are out at night, so it's better to somehow protect my base. I'm not sure how I can protect the base so that I can get out at night. This gave birth to a pretty cool idea in my head, but first I wanted to deal with the wire from the rover. Look, I completed the task. Communication lost. Find and repair the antenna on the rover. Awesome! Walking into the back of the rover, I saw something new. Look, I can open the monitor and it says SOS signals. No signals detected at this time. I don't know what this thing does now. Maybe in the future we'll be able to use it somehow. Day 7. Returning to my new idea, I wanted to create a patio for my entire base. Literally build a fence. Maybe in the future we'll be able to make a farm if we find dirt. And there's more space outside, because the base seems to be cool, but the inside is a bit cramped. To make this fence, I'm gonna need a lot of stone. On day 7, I mined cobblestone and melted it into bricks. But on day 8, I finally made the fence. Now I want to make a small path to the exit and decorate this place as much as possible. On day 9, new wolves appeared, which I successfully dealt with, and now I had enough leather to make a full set of leather armor. That's it, guys. We now have leather armor. Now I hope that will freeze a lot less. The only thing I seem to have done is clothes, but I didn't complete the task for some reason. Apparently warm clothes with immunity or something else, and I don't know how to make that yet. There was still 2 tasks left that I needed to complete to expand the territory, and one of these tasks was taming a penguin. I don't even know how to tame him. I don't even know what kind of mod adds them. But on the internet, I read that penguins eat fish. And I can make a fishing rod. Why don't we go fishing? This is a very interesting survival. I don't know what lies ahead of us. My team said that it would become more and more difficult over time. As I understand it, there are many different monsters that will be here in the future. So far, the only real danger are the wolves. After catching some fish, I went to tame a penguin. The most important thing is to understand that big penguins are not very friendly, but the small ones are friendly. Wait, I completed the task! That's it, guys, I tamed the penguin! Let's go! I named the penguin Ivan. Vanya, why not? We have lived in this snowstorm for 10 days and I haven't even had time to ride the rover yet. But I think everything will be ahead of us when we expand our snowstorm. Day 11. There was something unusual about this day. Some strange snowmen appeared outside. Okay guys, I don't even know if I should go there right now. I'm even afraid to go into my yard. I was thinking correctly, but I did the opposite. Yeah, oh! They're not friendly at all! Okay, that's it. Well, I don't want to deal with them anymore. On day 12, I checked the onboard computer of my rover to see if there were any new signals there, but it was still empty. I also made a circle on the rover around the territory that I had. I really wanted to go for a ride. And then I went to a cave because there were never too many resources. I came out the cave only by the end of day 12. Surprisingly, there were the usual Minecraft mobs down there. Skeletons, creepers, zombies, and so on. I was even able to find a mine shaft, farm myself more string, and even find a trolley with watermelon seeds. But I still didn't have any dirt, so I couldn't even make a farm yet. On day 13, I looked through my entire base again, thinking that maybe I had missed some details. And yes, this turned out to be exactly the case. In the basement, there was a sewing table, and on which, as I understood, it was possible to make those very warm clothes. Look, there are 2 armor cells here. My leather one fits into one of them, which means that another cell is needed for the second armor. I think we'll try to make an iron one and see what comes out of it. Having melted down the iron and made myself full iron, I combined it with the leather and got a new armor with a purple message saying immunity. The 3rd task was completed and the snowstorm instantly increased. Now our survival on the rover could finally begin. On day 14, the first thing I decided to do was to explore the trees. Yeah, no matter how strange it may sound, if you remember, we simply needed saplings and I was pretty lucky. Yeah, guys! These are saplings! I just dreamed about this more than anything. The only thing I realize now is that I actually can't plant the trees without any dirt. Why me? The map became a lot bigger. Now there were entire dungeons to explore. It's also time to look at the new tasks that I need to complete to further expand our zone. Create a camping tent, grow the first crop, respond to 2 SOS signals. I think these 3 tasks sound pretty interesting. I was pretty pleased with the harvest task. This meant we would finally be able to find dirt in this territory. Otherwise, how else would we complete this task? I wanted to spend the coming days exploring the surrounding area as much as possible. And for this, I already had my favorite rover. Well guys, let's go. Or make our way where our eyes lead. We just need to cut through the snow. Sorry. And here, by the way, there's all sorts of new mobs. I started finding some ammo in the loot. I even found a hunting rifle. By the way, I noticed that the world border now looks quite different. It will make a lot of sense to see how it looks now. I mean, technically, nothing has changed. Day 18, and it was pretty interesting. I decided to check the signals on the onboard computer. The coordinates were indicated. I decided to immediately go there. Wait, look! there's a guy up there, and there's wolves all around him. I think this is an NPC who needs to be saved. It's pretty clear why he's stuck on this iceberg. So, okay, there's one. Okay, a shield would actually be pretty nice. I need to craft it. Okay, that's it with the wolves. Thanks to our rover, we were able to find the help signal and find Vitka. Well, hello, Vitek. Over time, the rover will send more signals. After talking to Vitya, he said thank you very much for saving him, and also gave the coordinates of his chest, where he left a lot of useful things for me. And after that, he simply disappeared. This is pretty cool. We'll constantly respond to these signals for help, because firstly, we'll save the NPC, and secondly, he'll probably receive some kind of reward. So, well, okay, let's go. Along the way, let's just stop by these ruins. Let's see, maybe there'll be... For sure there should be something interesting here. I'm really hoping to just finally find dirt. Okay, food, some kind of club, a watch, and a tennis racket. What? Why? The day turned out to be pretty eventful, and it was time to finally return home. Day 19, guys. Can you feel the fresh air? It's great. The very first thing I decided to do was to check the chest that Vitya left for me. And you have no idea what was in it. This is dirt! We finally found dirt! Vitya, wherever you are, no matter how far the wind or the blizzard takes you, thank you. Thank you, just thank you. Guys, we finally found dirt. This meant two things. First, we could finally grow trees, and secondly, we could already make a farm. This is probably the best news in a long time. Let's first throw some coal into our fireplace. What I would like to say is now, yeah, there's no more problem with trees. And I think that we have some wheat seeds somewhere. Yeah, okay, that's it, guys. We'll finally complete the first task. And we have 2 more left to further increase the territory. For the rest of day 19, I was busy setting up a tree farm, and also an ordinary farm. And finally, I received the very coveted achievement. This is the kind of garden we have, guys. Surprisingly, in the Arctic, just outside where the temperature is like -20 or 30, everything is still growing. I mean, well, what do you want? It is Minecraft. Actually, I'm pretty surprised that everything is growing here. I planted potatoes, carrots, watermelon, and of course wheat. Let's see how quickly this all grows. Day 20. We still had 2 tasks left that needed to be completed in order to open up new territories. But at the same time, there was still a huge number of locations all around that we haven't yet explored. For example, a small village consisting of 5 houses. So friends, very carefully, some monster is attacking me. Oh, okay, look where I've arrived. This is actually very close to our base. These new mobs are running around, and by the way, here are also wolves. Okay, and crocodiles! Apparently there's some kind of village here, and here's another house. Let's start with it. Let's try to find a lot of useful things here, and not stumble upon some strange monsters. There wasn't much loot in the first house. I found all sorts of cookies, sticks, gunpowder, string, and all the usual Minecraft loot. The more the barrier expanded, and the further we went, the more dangerous monsters there were all around. And even in my iron leather insulated armor, I received quite a lot of damage. Maybe in the future we can disassemble these houses into blocks. Although we already have a tree farm, and maybe this might be too much. Yeah, that's it, guys. I have no ammo left. As I approached the other houses, I came across the edge of the storm and went further to explore the rest of them. Silencer and a golden hook! Oh my god, I have a golden hook now instead of my hand. Okay, I think it's pretty cool. So there's this skeleton here and some kind of note. Who is a Wendigo? 2 wanderers once tried to figure out this question in the TV series The Long Dark. Much has changed since then, but legends about the Wendigo continue to travel with the wind. Guys, let's just skip the Wendigo this time. I can't say I'm not scared here. I continue to loot houses and finding cool items. For example, I found a pretty long scope for a rifle, as well as an inflatable flamingo. By the way, I also have a silencer for the rifle. We'll also put it on so that the monsters don't come running towards me. The main thing right now is that there's no scarecrows in this house. Only good loot and nothing else. And look, here the house is really covered in snow. And yeah, there's nothing here. Great. We didn't come here. Let's keep going. I continue to explore the houses, and monsters continue to attack me. And I'll tell you honestly, sometimes it's much easier to deal with 1,000 predictable zombies than with one inconspicuous monster. This was my main problem. They appeared suddenly and completely out of nowhere. Okay, there's food here. This is really good. Having looted the last house, it was time to return home. I'm gonna tell you, we looted a really cool village. We found a lot of useful resources. We absolutely didn't find ammo, but on the other side, we just spent them. On the other hand, look at my inventory. It's just full. Now it's time to go home. On day 21, I decided to rest a little bit and finally start building. Our fence looked kind of flat and not very good, so first of all, I added a little relief to it. Placed some more wooden spikes and even made 2 small towers. If suddenly there are monsters nearby, then I think this will help me out a lot. There's also good news that the farm crops were finally starting to grow. Now our base could be called independent and pretty protected. 21 days have passed since the start of survival. The barriers in the form of a snowstorm, as was the case in the beginning of the video, were no longer visible. But the truth was that the barrier was still there, and in order to pass this survival, we need to expand it to the green zone. We can say that the green zone is where the snow biome ends. In the coming days, I was planning to further explore all the locations that are currently available to me, and look for options to expand the snowstorm. This survival is different from others in reality. First of all, I survive in a confined space, and secondly, I never know what will happen in the new territory that opens up to me. In short, it's pretty interesting. Let's sleep. Day 22. The weather was simply beautiful, but I needed to spend this day in the cave, since there can never be too many resources. In this survival, coal was especially needed, because thanks to it, we can maintain a good temperature inside our base. To keep warm between missions, our furnace needs a lot of coal. Day 23. Today could simply be called an invasion of snowmen. Some somehow even damaged my fence a little bit. It's just some kind of snowman apocalypse. We won't go beyond our fence today, but on the contrary, we'll just be harvesting our crops. I think we can even modernize the base a little bit. Today I want to go on new research. I decided to move along the barrier so that I don't miss anything. Okay, look, this is some kind of modern building. Probably the largest of those that I've seen on this map. And there's even a small highway here. We can only go to half of the house, but beyond that, we cannot. In any way. Continuing to move along the barrier, I noticed some kind of tower. Look, tower! Let's try to go upstairs while there's no monsters. Tent! Wait, we have a task for a tent! I think this was it. This tent could be placed anywhere, so I decided to make my own second base. We'll locate it close to our main base. It'll be a 1-tent camp. Yeah, with 1 tent. I started a fire, built a fence, and set up the tent. What? Wait a minute, this is just the frame. I mean, it looks cool, but where's the tent? It turns out that the tent was not set up right away, and literally within a minute, the tent was completely assembled. Mission accomplished, guys. Great. We have the very last thing left. Because we grew a crop, we set up a tent, and we made a camp. Wait, what's left? Oh, to respond to the SOS signal. On day 25, I checked the onboard computer, and yes, another signal appeared. Guys, right now, Rescuer Zeman is on his rover responding to a call. When I arrived, it turned out that these were the coordinates of a cave. One thing was clear, I had to go down. This cave is just a cave. All I need to do is find the stuck person and of course save him. Oh, there he is. Okay, now we just need to dig him out. Thank you for saving me, Zeman. I'll give you these items as gratitude. Good luck. The task was completed and the zone expanded. It is from this moment that the rover begins to play the most important role in this survival. Before this, you could just ride it, find signals for help, and save NPCs. But now, this is an integral part of this survival. Because the zone has increased to gigantic proportions, and now you can't cope here without a rover. Given that a lot, and I mean a lot of scary monsters are starting to spawn everywhere. On day 26, I went to see what had been added and changed. First of all, new dangerous monsters appeared. Now, I wouldn't really want to cross on foot through the snow and ice. And secondly, a new biomes appeared in the newly open territories. This was the thaw biome. It was located in some places on the map. Look, there's a crazy amount of dirt here. There's podzol and plenty of big trees growing. I think I'm gonna try and get as much dirt as possible. I don't know when we'll be able to do this again, and we'll probably be able to expand our farm. On day 27, I was working on the base, when suddenly a message appeared in chat. Attention, the threat of the appearance of a super mutant snowman. Like I don't have enough bosses to deal with already. This message alarmed me quite a lot, because everything was just starting to go normally for us. On that same day, even more snowmen appeared around, and new monsters that had previously been behind barriers, but now they're even walking near our base. Oh, let's eat some watermelon for peace of mind. Having barely made it out again, I went to the border of the barrier, and what was my surprise when on the other side, I saw the green biome. Wait, if this is the last zone that we have left to open, then we're actually very, very close to surviving. On the other hand, there's more and more monsters all around. Of course, while I'm in the rover, everything is fine, and there's no one around right now. But these monsters can one-tap me, and then my survival will just end. I continued to drive around, and I even found another Arctic station. Look, it's almost like mine. So what's inside? Look, there's also a basement here, but Dog Hitchmug is no longer here. Let's quickly get everything out of here. We'll definitely take the medicine. And by the way, I have had bleeding here a couple of times, and bandages help out a lot. At the same time, I decided to look at the new tasks that became available to me. There were also 3 of them. Defeat the mutant snowman, turn on 3 generators at the bases, and find the heat crystal. Sounds pretty interesting. Of course, the mutant snowman scares me a little, but overall I think we can try and handle it. I was especially curious about the generators because I was at one of the bases. Okay, there's a generator here and we have exactly one like this in our base. Now I just need to understand how I can turn them on. Once I returned home, I remembered that we have bookshelves and I could make an enchanting table. At night, I didn't go to bed but went to the local cave, where I was able to find lava and get obsidian. I spent the whole night in the cave and I finally found diamonds! On day 29, I finally decided to check out that same huge building, which had previously been behind the barrier. Well guys, we finally arrived to this building. And as you can see, there are monsters here too. But you and I are not losers either, right? I even enchanted the machete. I immediately understood that there would be a huge number of monsters here. But on the other hand, it was really interesting to find out what was in the building itself. What is that thing? What kind of poltergeist is that? So, okay, calm down. I just love it when they turn invisible. But it's cool that we can just parkour it. What monsters and parkour have in common? Nothing. 4 HP, guys. Let's eat quickly. So, wolves, I don't touch you, you don't touch me. Let's go see these ghosts. Like I said, I expected there to be a lot of monsters. And on the other hand, it's enough for the monsters to beat me once, and that's where survival will completely end. Having dealt with the monsters, I began to check out the loot. Okay, so let's take a look at everything. Oh, fire extinguisher? Can I even use it? I think it's pretty useless. Helmet, iron, cool. And here I think is a dining room on the ground floor, or a restaurant. Oh, note, yes. Day 40. For quite a long time, I've been hiding from that huge snowman that comes out to hunt every 30 days. We need to wait for spring. He doesn't like warmth. If it's talking about the giant snowman, then I don't know. I'm scared. Going up to the 2nd floor, I fell down. So I had to go up again. Oh, wow, guys, I got scared. Oh, this is insane. I just got scared. Okay, let's put it on. Why not? Do I look like a monster now? While passing the 2nd floor, there was a parkour section, but I decided to leave it for later, and then the moment came when I needed to try and pass it. Well, here I am at the parkour. Okay. The parkour wasn't very difficult, but rather just a small test that allowed me to climb onto the roof. Well done, here's a gift for you. Heavy assault rifle, oh my god, that's sick. Okay, great, if this snowman attacks me, remember, I'm not afraid of you now. A message appeared in the chat that a super boss was about to spawn. And just 3 minutes later, a huge snowman appeared right in the middle of the map. Oh my god. So, okay, no matter how strong he is, I'll try to kill him. Come on, carefully. I think I'll try to build small barricades for me. I just really hope he doesn't hit my rover, otherwise it's gonna be really bad. He's also starting to spawn his little snowman. Okay guys, I'm not going to lose now. Just a little bit more. Whew. We just killed a super hyper duper 100-meter mutant snowman. Sadly, he didn't drop anything, but we still completed the first task. Guys, this day 30 is just something. Again, I want to note that I don't know what's on the other side of the barrier, but I think the green biome is already there. So after completing 2 tasks, we can finally get out of here. So look, throughout the time in this world, I found several canisters. 5 actually, in the building, in the loot, and I thought, maybe with the help of them, I can start the generators. First, let's try to turn on the generator in our base. So I don't know whether it started or not, but my canister disappeared, so I think it started. Throughout day 31, I traveled around 2 more bases, which were located on the outskirts of the barrier. By clicking on each generator, I actually completed the task, which was just wonderful. There was only one more thing left. Phew, guys, we lived here for 32 days, but it seemed like a whole life flew by. At the beginning of the survival, remember, I was so cold and there was no dirt. But now I have everything here, and in fact, I don't know what will happen next. But now we'll try to complete the 3rd task for this zone. It says that I need to find some kind of crystal, and I think I have an idea where I can find it. In the zone that opened, I saw the entrance to the ice caves, and I think this is where the crystal could be. Going down, I saw a lot of huge snow golems, but most likely these were yetis. But I wasn't sure at first. Oh wow, they hit hard. Yeah, of course, this is just my guess, but I really hope that the crystal is here, because I've checked everything all around. If it's not here, I don't know where it could be. Wait, yeah, guys. Okay, that's it. The task is completed. I completed the third task, and instead of the snowstorm getting bigger, it just disappeared. The green biome was visible on the horizon. This is 100 days of survival on a rover inside a dead swamp. I found myself surrounded by terrible swamps. All I have is a rover and a stick. The world is filled with new monsters that have risen from the ground, and locations can easily drag me to the bottom. I have to explore this dangerous world and look for a way out. And if I get out, then survival will be completed. Guys, now this is the true definition of a dead swamp. I appeared in a swamp on some island without a single resource from the previous rover survival. In addition to the terrifying monsters around, I noticed a rover that was located to the right of the island. So this is a rover, great. Wait, what is that? Some kind of iguana attacked me. Run. What is that? I just appeared and some local reptiles immediately attacked me. However, I survived and was also able to climb onto some abandoned building. Alright, so there's 2 chests behind me. Let's check them out. Fish, seeds, an axe. Nice. A wooden one. Well, what do you need, guys? Leather pants, potatoes, string, and sticks. Super. What are you doing here, crocodile? Get out of my house! No one's safe from the fact that a crocodile can crawl onto your first floor, especially me, who's surviving inside a dead swamp. After waiting for the crocodile to leave, I went downstairs, and there was really cool loot that I found in the chest. I really hope it helps us. That's it, Croc. If you come here now, you'll really have some problems. Though I think it went somewhere, so let's read the note. This is an unusual swamp. People are looking for a way out of here, but no matter how deep they go, it feels like it's appearing right under their feet. I don't know what to do with this info yet. Let's better try and get some wood. Oh, this crocodile, what do you want? I don't understand. Before driving a rover throughout the swamp, we had to build at least some kind of starting house in order to feel safe among these creatures. Having made the first workbench and a wooden pick, I tried to dig through and get cobblestone. But here, I ran into the first problem. There was simply no stone below. I dug quite deep, but there's still no stone here. This immediately called into question many of the mechanics of this survival. I had to look for another way to get stone. First of all, guys, let's close all the holes that are here, because the monsters are just everywhere in this swamp. And now I think I feel quite safe here. Before it started to get dark, I decided to explore the whole island to the end. I found a small ruin with 2 chests containing resources such as slime, gunpowder, some bricks, a stake, and a helmet, as well as a berry basket and a note. Sometimes you can find pancakes in the ruins. I wanna eat now. But the most interesting thing that there was a cave here in which I really hope to find a single stone. Look, there's some kind of cave here. Maybe we can find stone there. What is that? Need a gas mask? What do you mean? Below level 56, there's an accumulation of swamp vapors. That is, it turns out I can't even go down at all? Based on this message, it turned out that we couldn't extract all the resources we knew about until we had a gas mask. But there was still a way out. Small pebbles were scattered all over the island, as well as throughout the map. Just like in the previous episode of Survival on a Rover in a Snowstorm. And maybe if I collect them, I can at least make myself a stone pickaxe. But the fact that there's no stone in this survival is quite unusual. But look, there's just so many trees here though. Hey, crocodile, stop! Okay, never mind, I killed the crocodile. Iguana! Having successfully reached the house, I crafted a single cobblestone from the stones, and I finally made myself a stone pickaxe. And at this time, the world began to get dark. The first day in the dead swamp was coming to an end, and as night fell, new types of monsters began to spawn in the world. Look, there's some kind of bird sitting on a tree and flying. And there's even zombies here, look. It's day number 2, and the weather in the swamp has cleared up. Everything looked much more colorful, and most importantly, visibility improved. Yeah, guys, the sounds outside the window are not the most pleasant, to be honest. What is this? A walking tree? What's going on here? Look, there's a house there, and a little to the left, there's an entrance to some kind of bunker, as well as small ruins. There's also this tower in the visibility zone. But most of all, guys, I want to get to my rover first. Okay, I wonder if this zombie drops anything useful, because I'm out of ammo. Okay, this is some kind of rotten flesh. When I got to the rover, I saw some slight changes. Now the swamp mud was visible on the tracks, as well as the frame name of the rover. Look, guys, this is our same rover. Nothing has changed inside, and everything remains the same. The only question is where we can go here, and whether the rover can drive on water. And look, well, not bad. It can move on water. Alright, so our rover can move around the map quite easily. On this side of the shore, there was a large tower. I just needed loot, so I decided to explore it. Okay, so here's the entrance. Oh, look, 6 ammo. And some kind of rusty broken bottle, bandages, beads. Nice. Let's reload our swamper. Now we'll feel more secure. And do you hear these sounds, yeah? There's just a huge number of flies all around. 4 cobblestone and a wrench. Great! What's funny is that in this survival, the cobblestone is really worth its weight in gold. Even the loot we found in this tower shows this. Having dealt with the mosquitoes that had flown in from nowhere, I headed back home. I made myself an axe from the newly found cobblestone and got some wood. The 3rd day of survival in the swamp and the 35th day of survival on the entire rover has come. If you look closely, beets grow in many places. It seemed like a great idea to collect it and make a farm first, so that later I wouldn't have to worry too much about food. Of course, on the first day, I was simply shocked by how many monsters there are. There's probably 6 times more of them than there were in the last snowstorm. At the same time, it's worth noting that there's no barrier here. But I think that there's some other feature here that we simply haven't seen yet. Having collected enough beets, I finally decided to take care of the house and the farm. Naturally, I'll make my house in this radio tower. After replacing the entire floor and also dismantling the ruins that were on my island, I finally covered the holes with bricks and not with dirt, as it was on the first day. Well, guys, this is what it looks like, and yeah, of course, the building is abandoned and requires restoration, but on the other hand, it's better than it was before. And I decided to make a small farm on the side of the house. Day 4. I wanted to make windows in my house, but there was absolutely no sand. After placing a couple of chests, I decided to go explore the swamp. Okay, guys, right now we're trying to get to this very house on our rover. I think it's better to park somewhere here. Somehow, guys, I parked. And look at how they're looking at it. Beautiful, I agree. Somehow we had to get to that house. Using the rover directly in the water wasn't an option, so I took a shovel and dug up some dirt and calmly bridged to the building. We'll just carefully bridge up like this, just like that, neatly. And as you understand, guys, one blow from this monster, and I don't know whether I will survive or not. It's good that we at least got to this building. Inside the house, I was greeted by little green monsters who turned out to be pretty aggressive. It took quite a while to deal with them. Let's see what's in here. Oh, wow! An iron ingot, a kilometer sight, 5 ammo that we need, another 8 of some kind, as well as a chest plate and a note. Day 562 of searching for a way out of this dead swamp. This is simply impossible. This is just some kind of deception. A couple of times I saw silhouettes of people, but most likely it was a mirage. I'm completely alone here. This clue says that some person survived for 562 days here and still didn't find a way out of the swamp. But let me remind you that this is our most important task, thanks to this rover, which helps us survive and find a way out of the swamp in the shortest possible time. I understand that this won't be that easy. Day 5, and the sun came out again. And by the way, I noticed that there's some kind of pattern in this world. When the fog fills the swamp, many more monsters will spawn. Today, I continue to explore the marshy areas, but on foot to see what I could find. First of all, I found holes in which all sorts of human things spawn. I think some monsters were stealing these things from the nearby houses. I also found beaver dams. This is the only place where it's possible to get another type of wood, ranging from birch to spruce. And of course, I always came across small ruins along the way. There, you could find regular loot and sometimes even spawners. So if you look around, you'll find a lot of details everywhere. I think that with each video, our survivals become more and more elaborate. During this day, we managed to find many different resources. Clothes, a lighter, first aid kits, and of course, different types of trees. However, despite this, we still couldn't craft a furnace. Pebbles spawn rarely, and in principle, this was not the best option. I had to find a good way to make cobblestone or craft a gas mask, or at least find an option to make a cobblestone generator. Because as for me, this would really simplify our survival. But I also didn't see lava anywhere. We're on day 6, friends. We still have sunshine, and look what I found. This is the same, some kind of radiation, or what is this? To be honest, I think that this is the entrance to some kind of bunker. But the fact is, I can't go in there, because as you know, if I go lower, then radiation or whatever will start hitting me, or whatever it's called. These all sorts of swamp poisonings will kill me. The situation was a dead end. In order not to sit still, I decided to make windows in my house. So wait, I made a window, but how do I make glass? The situation was a deadlock after deadlock, and in order not to create a new deadlock, I went on my rover to further explore the swamp. Look, there's some kind of houses here. I think that before the fog covers everything again, we need to quickly explore it all. Flowers? Seriously, daisies? I'm trying to find loot here, and there's daisies here. Day 7, and it scared me quite a lot. Early in the morning, a message appeared in chat. Somewhere in the distance, you heard a shot. What? Is this some kind of plot text or what? Right after this, the fog covered the entire swamp, and a couple minutes later, I saw something insane. Guys, what is this? Is this some kind of strange creature? And what's that on top? What's going on here? I just got used to the monsters that live here. Guys, this is complete trash. I don't want to leave the house at all today. On day 8, the fog disappeared. I continued to drive through the local dead swamp on my rover. By the way, wait, you know what? In the last episode in a snowstorm, there was such a story that we could go in the back of our magnificent rover and using the transmitter find all sorts of rescue signals. The coordinates were shown there, we followed them and saved people. Why didn't I watch it this time? So let's see. Wait, there's something completely different here. Blueprint locator? What? Unfortunately, I don't have the right to ask my team for hints, and I'll have to figure everything out myself. The first thing I decided to do was turn it on and start driving around the area. If it's a locator, that means it might be able to find something, and that's exactly what happened. What? Wait, a line has appeared. 100 meters to an unstudied recipe. Focusing on what was written on the screen, I started driving around and eventually got to the very place where it is located. In retrospect, it's pretty surprising that I didn't go to the back of my rover and see what was the new feature. The radar is beeping. I could have done this from the very beginning. Stay close to the rover while it learns a new recipe. But I had no idea that along with this would come a huge number of monsters. They're all flocking to the rover. Come on, careful. I don't have any ammo. Come on. Alright, where possible, we'll try to fight them off with a wrench. Come on. This is a whole wave of monsters. Oh my god. I don't even know which is worse. If they break the rover or kill me. Okay, -1. Great. One more. And one more. Okay, a little more. Gas mask recipe learned. What? Okay, let's get out of here quickly, guys. Let's just get out of here. Right before your eyes, thanks to new features that I initially missed, I was able to learn my first recipe. And I'm gonna say that this won't be the last recipe that we'll learn in this survival. Look, now in the back of our rover, I can look up the recipe. And by the way, I can't say that crafting this gas mask is pretty difficult. Rather, finding and studying this recipe was quite problematic. The whole next day, I spent collecting resources in order to craft that same gas mask. Part of the resources had to be looked up in the very holes where all sorts of human objects spawn, which as I said are most likely stolen by monsters from nearby houses. But this is all for the beauty of the story. In fact, they just spawned there. Okay guys, if you think that monsters in the swamp don't just attack me, it's complete insanity. Even just looking for dams and looking for these holes is already dangerous. I believe guys that now our survival will begin, because I still haven't even made a window in my house. I don't even have a furnace yet. Now everything will start, friends. I just need to make a gas mask. Having finished collected all the necessary resources in the evening, I finally made a gas mask. I got an achievement. The barrier is unlocked. It turns out that this survival also had a barrier, only this time it was horizontal. Now we had access to caves, mines, bunkers, and even catacombs. I don't remember which day it is. Today, I finally decided to go to that very cave that I couldn't get into for so many days. First of all, I immediately found coal and iron there. There was no stone, but there was a lava lake, which meant that we could finally make a cobblestone generator and finally solve the problem with this resource. It's so good to have at least one furnace. Now we're gonna put everything in there to start cooking, and soon we'll be living like kings. While the iron was being melted down, I decided to go to the catacombs, because now we can finally go in there. I'm near the catacombs right now, and look, there's a boss bar on top. Necromancer. It would be a little dangerous to go there, but we have torches here, and with light, it's not so scary. The only thing is that I can't hold them at the same time as the guns, so I'll just light them like this. There's no one here. Where is everyone? What was that? Here it is, look! Oh my god! Despite the necromancer, I decided to loot the chest a little bit. I even found a new cannon and a bag of treasures, which I couldn't help but make me happy. But while I was examining all these items, it turned out that the necromancer could break blocks, and that is exactly what happened.
Oh my god, he left me on 3.5 HP! Guys, he left me on 3.5 HP! It's so crazy, he's spawning some guys or something! Okay, we're low, okay, come down. Yes, come on. Okay, that's it, I killed the necromancer. So guys, it's not so simple today. Very carefully, really carefully. There's these zombies that he summoned.
Having dealt with the zombies, I went further to explore the catacombs. First of all, I would like to say that I found a very interesting pickaxe, which was called like this.
Now you can break the air, some kind of pickaxe.
For now, I decided not to touch it and calmly finish exploring everything. Otherwise, maybe some 35 necromancer would spawn.
Another chest, ice pick, look, it's cool. Cheese, all sorts of crap, and a scarf of good luck. Wait, what'll happen if we put it on? It looks strange, but at least we're warm now. The last thing here is there's some kind of note. Let's read it. This swamp is one of the most dangerous places on the planet. Cyclicity, infinity, chance, decision, battle, exit. I could read these words on the walls of this dungeon. What could they mean? Well, most likely these words tell us how we can get out of this place. That is, at first we understand that the world is cyclical, as you understood from the notes. Then for some reason there's some kind of infinity, some kind of accident, finding a solution, a final battle, and maybe in the end we can finally get out of here.
This is where the exploration of this dungeon has come to an end, and it was already late. We had to get out. New day. I've already seen a lot of notes saying that the swamp is endless, so today I decided to check it out myself.
Well guys, I hope our rover won't get stuck anywhere and drown. That would be pretty sad. I would say even very much sad. Let's not think about the bad. Let's just go in one direction and drive for a very, very long time.
From day 11 to day 12, I just drove straight. And the further I drove, the more I realized that this was all true.
Yeah, there are various small dungeons along the way, but pretty much ruins. I didn't come across anything plot related. Now I really understand what the note said.
The way back was a bit faster, because this time I was driving without stopping. Day 14. Realizing my hopeless situation, I decided that if I can't find a way out of here, that means I can take care of my home and really improve my base. Which was definitely necessary. As you remember, this world can present surprises in the form of some strange monsters. And plus, I'm tired of constantly parking my rover practically next to a tree. This morning, I made a bucket and a cobblestone generator.
Now we're gonna get enough and start building.
Throwing everything away to be melted down, bricks began to appear for me, which meant that all the cracked and all the mossy cobblestone could be removed from my base. I also decided to get rid of the vines and extra cobwebs because they were making the building look abandoned. The decoration of the base and the transformation of the house into a piece of art began in full swing. I replaced all the blocks, added new ones, as well as beautifully lit the place. Managed to create a nice little warehouse inside, a separate kitchen, and finally my own bedroom.
There's no sheep here, but I collected a lot of string, so this saved me. Just so you understand, before that I just stood and waited for the morning to come.
I thought it would be a good idea to beautify the entire island, but gradually. The first thing I decided to do was to make a parking spot for my rover. To do this, I leveled the place, collected asphalt blocks, as well as made handrails. The farm also didn't go unnoticed. In addition to these beets, I also had carrots and potatoes. I thought that I needed to make a 3-stage farm, all divided by crops. I also made some paths across the island and illuminated the whole thing.
Let's just say in terms of security, I can't say that everything is perfect here, because all the monsters could easily get onto this island. I don't have enough resources to fence everything off. Also, I tried to illuminate everything as much as possible, as well as made some paths to firstly make it look nice, and secondly, reduce the chance of these monsters spawning.
Finally, we had a good base in the middle of this dead swamp, which was at least pleasant to be in. After crafting a gas mask, things finally started to improve. I started going into caves and mining resources, and finally we had lighting and iron pans. But as luck would have it, the next day a new message appeared in chat.
The influence of the terrible swamp is expanding.
I would later find out what that terrible swamp is, but at the moment I had no clue what it was.
To be honest, I don't like any of this at all. I mean, I don't mind complications, but everything is going so well. Why?
On day 20, some magic happened. I saw a beam in the distance from my house and decided to head straight towards it. What you'll see will surprise you.
Wait, what is this huge building? It wasn't here before. Where did it even come from?
Despite the strangeness and magic of the situation, I decided to explore this place. It was a giant abandoned factory.
Next, guys, I'll probably walk on foot because, as you can see, I think some kind of vulture already wants to attack me. Okay, guys, I feel that here I'm gonna have to fight all these monsters quite a lot. And they actually do a bit of damage too. Oh my god, what is this swamp with some mutated jumping frogs? These are really jumping mutated frogs. Alright, let's just climb up like this. Wait, they're jumping to me from the tree. Oh wait, look! There's actually glass here and I can get it. I can finally make glass in our house. It's just that there's absolutely no sand anywhere on the map. Or I just missed it. I don't know, but in any case, you can get glass here. Let's do this before any vultures attack me.
I got the glass and went inside. I was surprised because there weren't a huge number of monsters here. It seemed to me that there were even fewer of them here than in the swamp itself. However, it was precisely this feeling that turned out to be deceptive, and you will find out why later.
I'll continue to parkour carefully, guys. And finally, we can see, okay, look, it turns out someone here didn't wait for salvation, and accordingly, the fire went out. So there's a chest here with some kind of camera monitor, and what can it do? Right-click a security camera to view. I think it doesn't do anything, at least for now. Oh, these little jumpers, or what can I call them? Tell me in the comments what you think we should name them. To me, they look like mutated frogs. The most important thing in such places is of course loot. The most important thing is loot, yeah, obviously. I hope that we find some kind of plot task here, because I don't understand where this plant came from, for example. And look, here we have a book and quill. Uncle Valera didn't show up for his shift again. Recently he said something about a heated basement and wanted to go down there.
It didn't take long to find this basement, only it was flooded. But I still decided to go down there. Swimming through the underwater cave and occasionally using air pockets, I ended up in the basement of the plant.
So the loot here isn't really great, to be honest. Maybe I'll find something good here later. Air pocket, nice.
There was nothing unusual about this basement, just a lot of food and a way out.
I really hope that this isn't an exit, because I haven't even looted half of this entire plant. But okay, at least we swam. Well, what can I say? Let's just go back. Alright, my pick. And here you can just endlessly climb through all sorts of different sides of this plant.
Oh, those mutated frogs. At first, I thought they were quite helpless, until the following situation happened.
Let's try to fight them off like this a little bit. Let's even spend a lot of ammunition on this, and I mean a lot. Because they just won't go away on their own. If we lose sight of them, guys, it won't be good. So, here we have more, guys, even more. Okay, let's reload. I think I'm running out of ammo already. So, 1.5 HP, 1.5 HP, 1.5 HP. Oh my god, guys, they cornered me. I'll fight back the best I can, guys. I'll fight back the best I can. I'll do my best.
It was a very intense moment. One more hit from any of these monsters and this survival will end. I knew that there was no way I could lose.
I see another one coming towards me. I need a bandage. I need a bandage. Right now, a bandage. Okay, I healed. Okay.
If you look at this shot again, you can see how literally a millisecond after I used the bandage, the monster hit me. If I hadn't healed in time, the video would have ended right here. After looting the premises of this plant and collecting the most useful loot, I decided to go home. Because my inventory was already full and I feel like I've studied everything by now. The most important thing that we found while looting this factory is a stack of gold and a stack of iron. It was a lot actually, and it was worth it. And it's probably worth explaining why this is a lot. Because the caves are not common in the swamp, and the resources here are really worth their weight in gold. Morning of day 21. Having sorted out all the resources that I found at the factory, I decided to go in a rover to a direction that I'd never traveled to before. So I got on my rover and immediately went there. After 10 minutes of travel, I came across some strange buildings and immediately wanted to explore them.
So here we are. Oh, the zombies. Okay, I gotta be careful. With such an axe, it's no problem at all. A chest with loot, and here we have a flint and a book and a quill. After the monster appeared, the swamp began to take over the world. Is it even possible to defeat that terrible creature? I only know one thing. It is afraid of the fire that appeared after a lightning strike. That's all that was written there, and as usual, there's more questions than answers. It's gonna be night soon, so I think our best option is to wait out the night here.
I'll definitely close all the windows because you know what kind of monsters there's here, and it's good that I did. New day. After looting a couple of ruins, I decided to go home. But on the way, I accidentally came across a very, very interesting dungeon.
Guys, look at how many crocodiles there's here. And look, I think they're laying eggs over there. Let's try to get there.
Let's face it was a pretty dangerous decision.
Come on, let's come here. Great, okay, let's run. Okay, that's it, we're taking it. Okay, this is a success, guys. Let's go home.
The entire 23rd day, I was busy studying the crocodile mod, as well as building a small pen, where I hope my pets will live in the future.
I hope there's enough space for my crocodiles, because the crocodiles are pretty big. Let's put 2 eggs here and wait.
The entirety of day 24, I was busy with household chores, collecting food, crafting some items, but at the end of the day, I noticed very unpleasant news. One egg has disappeared somewhere. I thought at first that the crocodile had hatched, but I couldn't find it anywhere in the pen. In this regard, it's good that I had 2 eggs, so I really hope it's the latter. Day 25, and it brought a very important plot twist.
In the distance, I heard a really loud bang from the north. We should check this out, of course. But where's the north? Compass in the studio.
Having crafted a compass, I immediately went there on my Rover. I really hoped to find something, and I drove for quite a long time, and I even lost faith that I couldn't find anything. But at some point, I saw a green beam in the distance. But as soon as I approached it, it immediately disappeared.
It turned out to be some kind of hut. Swamp guide? Guys, this is the first NPC we saw in this survival. Incredible. I haven't seen people here for a long time. Where did he come from? I'm 72 years old. I've been living in the swamp for many years. This is a dead swamp, as I called it. It can pull you away at any second. But since you're still here, I think you're coping well with the monsters. After 7 years of studying the area, it became clear that this was most likely some kind of simulation, because this entire area is copied one from another. I only have one clue. This is a white deer that lives in the swamp forest. I've seen a silhouette a couple of times. So I haven't seen any swamp forest, but I've already walked around everything. Of course! It's okay, my friend, just listen. I believe that this deer is the key to the solution and the way out of here. You need to find it. Go to these coordinates and look for ice tracks. They can help.
After all this time, our survival finally had a plot, and it became more or less clear what we need to do. I went home to prepare, and the next day I was gonna go to those coordinates. Finding this deer will be a whole challenge. After all, the only thing it leaves behind are ice blocks, which will also not be easy to find. I just couldn't wait anymore to look at the new biome that we'll visit soon. On the morning of day 26, I heard very strange sounds coming from my pen. I didn't find any eggs, and then I saw the same crocodile of mine.
Just look at how cute he is, guys. He's basically the size of a baked potato. Now we have our own little crocodile. And as they say, leave the name of the crocodile in the comments.
Quickly gathering resources, I went to that very forest.
Look how the weather has turned out. Just great. I took the minimum amount of resources with me, only the most necessary, so that we have a lot of empty space in our inventory.
In this survival, the road through the swamp took a huge amount of time. Sometimes I stopped to loot some locations, but in general, I had to travel really far.
I've arrived, guys. It's day 27. And look, I think we need to go there. This is the first time I've seen something like this.
To get to the forest, I made a small oak boat instead of risking it and leaving the Rover. From the outside, the swamp forest simply amazed me. Different foliage, different blocks, and look at the density of the trees. Most likely there were even gonna be new mobs here, besides that white deer.
In reality, guys, I wouldn't want to end up in such a swamp forest at all. Let's start to somehow looking for this deer.
On the first day, except for one block of ice, I found nothing else. But this was already at least some kind of clue. I decided to make a small home in a tree because I didn't know how many days I'd spend looking for that deer. And just by some chance on day 28, I got super lucky, as I found more and more of these ice blocks, and then I eventually saw that white silhouette.
Wait, stop! Guys, it's him! I found it! Okay, let's try right-clicking it. Oh, it's gone! Bunker key. Wait, what? They just gave me a key to a bunker from this deer? Yeah, this swamp is really strange.
On day 29 and day 30, I was back on the road to that same NPC. Having found the key, I learned a new secret of the plot.
Were you able to find the deer? Show key. So the key fell from this deer? I guess it's true. Anyway, I don't know if you've heard, but there's a monster that lives here, and I call it the Terrible Swamp. This monster is invisible. It is impossible to touch it, but that's only the case for now. I read several notes that said that the bunker has the answer to somehow summon this monster and make it visible. And I even have the coordinates of that bunker. Supposedly, by destroying this monster, you'll have a chance to pass this survival. What kind of survival? Did I say survival? Doesn't matter. Good luck.
On day 31, I returned home. The wheat grew and the crocodile also grew. My house stayed in place and all sorts of different monsters roamed around, especially aquatic ones.
Well guys, this is incredible. We've gone through so many new things today. We simply developed from scratch. I understand that we'll go to the bunker now, in which we must find some final thing that will help us defeat the main monster, so that we can finally get out of this swamp.
I harvested my crops and looked at my favorite base and even made a pot of flowers. And finally, on day 32, I went to the coordinates of the bunker. On the evening of the same day, I finally arrived at the same coordinates.
So, I guess it's here somewhere, guys. Of course, the bunker is not visible nearby, but we'll look. I hope my builders didn't hide it too well. Oh, alright, I see something. Okay, that's it, guys. Be sure to like this video, friends.
Opening the doors of the bunker, I began to go down. I was immediately attacked by some creepy mosquitoes.
Explain to me, where did these giant mosquitoes come from?
This bunker was quite unusual. I can't say that I've seen anything like this before. It's here that today we'll have to find the answer to the whole dead swamp. I didn't hesitate and started looking.
Jump! Oh, how huge this thing is! Mosquito! Oh my god. There's no food here at all. It's clear what happened to the skeleton. He died of hunger.
While exploring every corner, I even found cool body armor. It looked just great. In addition, there were also zombies in this bunker that also wanted to destroy me.
Okay, let's look for something else useful here. Look, you can rotate the pickaxes. Guys, I found a place where there's a lot of shovels, and you can spin them all. Okay, wait, 48? This is probably some part of a code.
It turned out that I was absolutely right. There was one more piece of code that needed to be found in order to open the final door, behind which we might be able to find something that we were looking for.
Look, there's some kind of lit room here. Oh, that's it, I understand. This is the door, and that's the code we need to enter. So, look, there's a parkour section here, and maybe the second part of the code is up there. And not without difficulties, guys. I have a small problem with parkour. 29! That's it, guys. The second part of the code is here.
Having received the second part of the code, I immediately went to the door.
48 and 29. Great, so let's see what's in there.
But it turned out that this is not the last door that needed to be opened. In the small area that opened up, I found a cool new gun, some ammo, and also a new monitor. If you remember, we found a similar monitor in a swamp at the factory. But unlike that monitor, this one worked. And thanks to it, it was possible to watch the cameras that were installed in this bunker.
All of this is cool and all, but I still don't understand how to open the second door. And I can't break the blocks here.
Day 32 was ending, and even at night, I didn't find anything. But on day 33, I got pretty lucky.
There's another room here, guys. Wait, keycard! Nice! Alright, we have some kind of laboratory. There's even a fan spinning. And what is this? Looks pretty mysterious. The heart of a terrible swamp.
I thought this was the end, but it turned out not to be. Now we needed to summon this terrible swamp and fight in the final battle. On day 34, I returned home, I harvested my crops and fed the crocodile.
Oh, guys, how much did we go through in the swamp today? During this entire video even. Remember when we just started? We couldn't even go down because we didn't even have a gas mask.
However, I was only a right click away from the end. On day 35, I leveled the territory for the battle, made myself whatever diamond armor I could, and was ready to face the terrible swamp.
Okay, oh wow! It's huge, guys! I saw one of the small ones in the middle of the video, remember? Whoa, okay, let's go. The main thing is to not forget to put up barricades. But this will not help us, I think. This is just some huge creature. I don't know how else to say it, sorry. Come on, guys, a little more. Oh, I did it, guys. We won. Oh my god, we did it. That was tough.
The main boss of this survival has been defeated. I got into my favorite Rover and started driving in one direction. And already on day 37, the swamp stopped generating. This is 100 days of survival on a Rover in the hottest desert. Every 5 days, the temperature will rise, leading to oasis drying up and me losing the ability to grow crops and move through the desert during the day. The main goal is to get out of here, and to help me with that, I have a Rover that will allow me to explore incredible locations locations, travel thousands of kilometers, and find a way out of this vast place. Day 1. I appeared on the rover in this endless and lifeless desert. Around me grew shrubs, scorpions roamed, and in the distance I could see ruins and dungeons that I hope to loot soon.
Well, what can I say? Let's go. Wherever the eyes lead. I think surviving here will not be easy.
In the very first minute of survival, I noticed an oasis in this desert world.
Is that an oasis? Okay, well, we have water and even trees. Let's make a crafting table and some basic tools as usual.
Finding an oasis was a huge stroke of luck, but at that moment I didn't know it was temporary. The temperature in this desert will rise every 5 days, leading to massive droughts and thus making our survival more difficult.
We were really lucky, and look, in the left corner we have some kind of indicator and it's already dropping.
For this survival, we developed our own thirst mod. You need to constantly replenish it, so I made a furnace, gathered some sand, and put it to smelt to make some bottles to fill with water.
What if all this is just a mirage? Mirages, ooh. Okay, well, whatever, let's not get distracted.
On the very first day, I encountered scorpions, camels, and even snakes.
I've seen this 1,000 times. You just approach a snake and start hissing. Okay, that doesn't work at all. Okay, jokes aside, I don't want the survival to end right now. Who knew these snakes would hit so hard? But camels, though, I get it. They're a different story. You can see that they have kind souls. Just don't spit on me.
Returning to the oasis and making the first bottles, I could finally drink some water to refill my thirst indicator.
Okay, guys, the water problem seems to be solved for now. Our next task is to make a shelter, so let's try to figure something out.
Maybe for some of you this will be a revelation, but deserts are one of the most unusual places on Earth. In deserts, it's really hot, but only during the day. Temperature can be 40 to 50 degrees Celsius, while at night, after the sun sets, it can drop to 0. In these moments, it's better to look for a coat. To avoid freezing at night, you really need a warm place that can be heated with furnaces.
If you thought this survival would be simple, think again. In this mod pack, we also have a temperature mod, but to measure it, we need to find a thermometer, which has also been added, but we still need to find it. Meanwhile, let's build some kind of shelter so we don't turn into an ice block at night.
I gathered as much wood as possible and started digging myself a small house. I decided not to build it on the surface, but right next to the water in the oasis.
I can regret 300 times over that I decided to build it in the rock, or rather, sand, because the sand just keeps falling. And you thought physics doesn't work in Minecraft.
By evening, I finished my small house. Apparently, the temperature was slowly dropping because my thirst was depleting less frequently. I thought it was the perfect time to explore the surroundings.
Look, we have a huge number of ruins around. There's some kind of tower with a spawner over there, and to the left I also see a spawner, but that's some kind of fortress. Let's go to the tower and try to loot something.
It turned out that desert inhabitants are not just scorpions, camels, and snakes.
What's this? Oh, wait! Oh my god, okay guys, good thing that I made myself a stone sword. Alright, we first need to break the spawner quickly. Alright, now let's quickly check what we have in here. So, ammo, a saddle, redstone, a silver bracelet, and that's it. Okay, not bad.
After looting the tower, I decided to head back home as the sun was setting on the horizon.
I have no idea how the temperature affects things here. We've had a very great start to our survival, in my opinion at least. But if our survival ends today due to hypothermia, that would be totally uncool. So let's hurry home and test things out.
Back home, I lit the furnace, stepped outside, and began to observe what effect the night would have on me if I suddenly found myself outside.
Okay, my HP is dropping, but it's not that fast. But still, hypothermia is pretty real here.
Just think about it, you can freeze in the desert. Enough testing for today, I went inside and waited for the morning. Day 2. This desert was full of dangers that we will uncover over time. But the first and foremost was that I had no food. And in hardcore, without food, we simply lose. I was almost starting to worry when I saw something red on a tree.
Wait, look over there. Something is growing on the tree. Let's try to grab it. Oh, it's a date. The question is how to grow them. Alright, that's another matter.
I also tried breaking the grass. I got seeds of emmer, wheat, and flax. I planted both crops near the water without much thought. That day, I also saw new animals like eagles and cheetahs in the distance.
Honestly, I want to be more careful with cheetahs. Okay, guys. Welcome to my cozy little house. Basically, we don't have many resources and it's still unclear what challenges and situations will arise in this desert, so I'm gonna head to the first big ruins. I don't think I need to remind everyone that we only have one life. Alright, let's go.
The local dungeons will amaze us more than once with their beauty and desolation. I was lucky to find a really big dungeon. There was a lot of loot and accordingly, a lot of monsters.
Come on, let's break the spawner. Alright, inside there are still many spawners and okay, that one should be destroyed. Come on, what are you gonna do to me? Do these mummies even have brains to attack a person who's protecting the camels? Okay, look, here's some ammo, bones, coal, string. Okay, nice, and even candies. But still no camels here. And some desert leggings, great. So, a medium scope. Okay, so there's also guns here.
I spent the whole second day properly looting this dungeon.
Gems, some armor. Alright, these dungeons are just top-notch. We need to try and find them more often.
By evening, I started heading back home. There were 3 days left before the overall temperature in the desert would increase. I still didn't know about this. On the way back, I decided to check out my Rover since I didn't actually do that on the first day.
Here it is, guys. Simply magnificent. Look at it. It's all covered in sand. Wow, it urgently needs a wash. And who's this? I don't know who that is. I guess his name will be Gregory. He seems harmless. And what do we have inside? It's kind of empty in here. Nothing is clickable, but maybe there should be something here. Maybe we'll have some upgrades. I don't know.
The third day started quite unexpectedly. A sandstorm started in the desert.
Just look, you can't see anything. I'm a little wary, but I hope the sand won't cover everything somehow. Mummies started spawning on the surface, but overall they're not that difficult to kill.
Since visibility was poor and I didn't feel like driving anywhere in my Rover that day, I decided to head to the caves to gather more coal, iron, and all the resources that were available to me.
Okay, look, it's really unusual to see because there's no cobblestone here. It's all replaced with limestone and some precious ore. Look, it needs to be smelted to understand what can be made from it. But coal is coal, and look, there's even bone ore here.
There were several new ores that I had never seen before, but both coal, iron, and gold were abundant here.
Well, it's clear with gold right away. You look at it and it's just gold.
And so I spent the whole third day in the mine. On day 4, the storm calmed down a bit.
The first harvest came in, so let's expand our farm a bit and try to grow more, especially wheat. I have no idea why we need flax. Guess we'll give it to the camels.
On this same day, I decided to slightly improve my base, namely to make a staircase that would lead directly to the place where our Rover stands. But as I was doing this, a message appeared in the chat.
You have a new message. Check the onboard computer on the Rover. Whoa, okay guys, the plot thickens. Let's go. Okay, quickly. Great, okay. Tomorrow, increased solar activity is expected. The temperature in the desert will rise and will increase every subsequent 5 days. This will lead to irreversible consequences that you, Zeman, will have to deal with. Good luck. As you know, my survivals won't be my survivals if there weren't any difficulties. But this, of course, is bad. This is very bad.
Day 5 has come. The water in the oasis began to evaporate, some leaves turned brown and dried out, and half of the crops just disappeared.
Look, the water level in the oasis dropped. Where did my harvest go? What? And the thirst on the surface started to go down much faster.
On this day, I planned to dig a separate room inside my base for the farm so that direct sunlight wouldn't destroy my crops.
Okay guys, here's this little room. Let's quickly set it up, and this is just insane. I was prepared for serious monsters or various difficulties, but not for the sun to simply start destroying the entire desert.
Day 6. Today, for the first time, I decided to travel further from my oasis than 1,000 blocks.
So guys, we'll gather a lot, and I mean a lot of water bottles. We'll load as much into our Rover and take everything we need, and I think we can set off.
There were many cool locations in this desert built by my team. I was going to find them and get a lot of cool loot and answer the questions that interested me. What kind of desert this is, and how can I get out of it? Because I remind you that this is the main goal of this survival.
Well guys, let's go on an adventure. The desert, as you understand, is simply huge and pretty much endless, but we'll try to find something cool.
After driving about 800 blocks, I stumbled upon a very interesting canyon. And only in one spot there was a semi-destroyed bridge, and how to get over to the other side was not clear yet.
Okay guys, we have some kind of bridge here, and what can I say? There are some mummies here, and even one without a head. A chest and a note. Okay guys, the first note in this survival. The bridge collapsed, now it's not even possible to pass through it, let alone drive. One wrong step and you're down there, and falling from such a great height is extremely dangerous for your health. It's extremely dangerous that a snake also guards it, and the height here is not that small, but since this canyon cannot be crossed in any other way, we'll try to overcome it with the Rover. And basically, it's possible to drive here on the Rover. I just happen to have about half a stack of limestone with me, and we'll try to fix this bridge a little bit. The main thing is to be really careful without any sudden movements. If we pass here, guys, it'll be a miracle. And I see the first mummy coming towards me. I really hope we'll make it here. Let's try it, guys. The Rover fits here. The main thing is not to fall, because the Rover here is the only means of transport we have in this survival. Yes, come on, a little bit more, just a little bit more. That's it, guys. We made it. But I feel like we'll return back over to this bridge, so now we know how to do it.
After the bridge, I continued to drive through this endless desert until I stumbled upon a very unusual pyramid.
I think it deserves attention to stop and try to take a look at it. Look, there's absolutely nothing around, and and only this pyramid sticks out like a sore thumb.
Imagine my surprise when the bricks from this pyramid simply wouldn't break. I tried for about 3 minutes and still couldn't find a block that would allow me to get inside. I decided to leave the pyramid and just keep going. But what laid ahead was very interesting.
Hold on! What is that? That's a huge skull! That's actually incredible. Okay, I don't know what's waiting for us there, but I feel that we simply must explore that place. Okay, let's see. There's a spawner right here, and let's quickly break it.
This dungeon made a huge impression on me. While I was exploring it, some local bandits attacked me, and by the time I dealt with them, the sun was slowly setting. In the end, I decided to just rush straight into the bonfire, which was inside this huge structure, and I made it. Despite the fact that I even broke some rope.
Phew, guys, we made it. It's good that they actually stayed there. We are inside this giant skull, and there's even its own oasis. And look, I think it's not directly under the sun's rays, so I think it's gonna be preserved really well. And there's even a bonfire here, so let's warm up a little bit.
Day 7. Today, I wanted to fully explore this skull because I think it's here for a reason.
Good morning, guys. It's a good thing that there was a bonfire here. What is this bug attacking me? Beetle, stop! What is this? Crunchy scarab beetle. Well, at least it's edible. We'll definitely gather some wool here and make a bed for our home.
One interesting thing I found first is watermelons. They grow quite quickly and provide a lot of food. So, of course, I collected them.
Seems like some excavations were carried out here or something. Oh, a gun, guys! A gun! Okay, that's perfect. Let's have some watermelon as a snack, and someone here clearly didn't have as much luck as me. There's a computer here, okay? Another chest, paper, and a note. This skull-shaped rock has attracted the attention of everyone it could. It looks extremely unusual and hides something within it. The best archaeologists of these lands have gathered to uncover all its secrets.
After this interesting note, I continued to examine the chest around and collect watermelons until I came across another but very important chest.
Another chest? Okay, bread, coal. I already have nowhere to put it. Let's drink some water just in case. Hey, mommy, what are you doing here? Just a waste of bullets. There's nothing below, but we haven't tried climbing up yet. There must be something up there for sure. Guys, I feel like we need a lot of blocks.
After fetching enough blocks from the chest on the rover, I started climbing.
It's so up high, guys. We've almost reached the top. Just look at this. It's so gorgeous. I'm starting to like this desert survival more and more. Okay, let's get to the top and see what's up there. So, okay, what's this? Oh, a chest? Look, it's an upgrade for the rover. Okay, guys, let's drop everything unnecessary and take this upgrade. The great giraffe, lanterns, look, a diamond idol, and an antique acacia showcase. Let's take it. We need to figure out what this modification gives us, but it's something related to water, especially considering that we're surviving in the desert. Some time passed, and it was time to descend. Though the question of how to descend, guys, is of course irrelevant. There's water right below us. Let's go! Woohoo! Okay, excellent. Okay, guys, that was awesome. I think that's it. Let's head home because night is coming soon.
With that, I had to bid farewell to the skull and head back home. It's a new day, guys. I think we had a very cool journey. At the same time, we mustn't forget about our tasks, because as you understand, on day 10, the temperature will rise again. First of all, I wanted to install my new upgrade. I just had to figure out where to attach it.
I don't see a single place outside where it could be hooked. Okay, but maybe inside? I guess it'll fit here. Whoa, okay, perfect. Now the inside of the rover doesn't seem that empty. The question is, what can we do with it? Oh, we can fill it with water.
Initially, I tried using bottles, but it turned out that even buckets of water could be poured into it. The water is filtered and can be safely drunk. If you notice, the inventory was filled with bottles of water. Now there's no need for that. We have a whole boiler installed right inside the rover. Now, before our journey, we can fill it with water and set off on a long time without worrying about thirst. On day 9, I thought we needed to stock up on a proper amount of water because something told me that on day 10, the oasis would be completely dried out.
Guys, right now I'm gonna gather all the iron that I have, and I'm gonna gather enough water to last us until the end of this survival. I'm planning to fill at least one entire chest.
Of course, I didn't have a billion iron, but I spent the entire stack that I had on buckets. This is probably the first survival where a bucket of water is more valuable than armor. As I expected, on day 10, all of the water as well as the grass disappeared from my oasis. Now it was just a dried up lake.
What I want to say, guys, is yeah, it's pretty sad. Yesterday I managed to gather sugarcane, but I also could get the dates that were there. It's really good that we have our own little farm. I'm gonna improve it today because it allows us to replenish some food supplies that we need. We've stocked up on water and, well, there'll be one less beautiful place in this world now.
Since I spent all the iron, I also decided to go to the caves today and finally make myself iron armor. The day turned out to be quite productive, and I also managed to make an upgrade for the farm, 2 additional floors. I started thinking about what other side effects my team could have added from the heat. There's no more water, all the foliage is gone, and the crops won't grow under the sun.
And then I thought, what if the rover starts to disintegrate under the direct rays of the sun?
I didn't want to check that, so I decided to make a shed under which the rover would definitely be safe. Well, and plus there was Gregory. I don't know about him, but I hope he'll be better off in the shade. On day 11, I encountered some ostriches.
Oh my goodness, just look at them, they're so cute! Okay, I hope they won't bother me.
On day 12, I thought why not try and tame a camel, or at least see if that's possible at all.
Guys, don't forget that I'm protecting these camels, so they're my friends. I think we'll quickly tame one of them now.
To tame a camel, I needed a saddle, which I found in some ruins. Time and time again, I tried to tame a camel and kept at it until I succeeded.
Guys, it actually worked. We have a camel now. Let's go.
On day 13, an event happened. A new text appeared in the chat.
Check the onboard computer. New information has appeared. Okay, let's see. A million years ago, people were looking for a way to escape from this desert. Only a few succeeded. To get more answers than questions, go to the following coordinates. There awaits you a secret tomb. Perhaps there's gonna be a key. Okay guys, looks like we've got a plot twist. More concern of course that in 2 days there'll be another rise in temperature in our magnificent beloved desert, but there's no oasis anymore, so what could be worse?
As you understand, time passed. Such hints that appeared from time to time were always good, but it was preferable of course to anticipate them because the sun in this desert was becoming more and more powerful. The changes that await us in the future will greatly surprise you. Without much thought, on that same day I gathered as many resources as possible and headed to those very coordinates. The journey was long. It would take me at least 2 days to get there. In the meantime, I managed to loot several ruins.
Look at these slippers that I found. They're just awesome. I think now it's gonna be much cooler to move around the desert in them.
Also, I saw some pyramids and still didn't understand how to open them. And I also saw another copy of the skull. I didn't stay there for long, but there was also another boiler on the roof. There was nowhere to install it, so I just kept going. On day 15, the temperature in the desert rose again, but I didn't notice any difference.
Alright guys, I see something. Let's pull up. This looks very unusual. Alright, let's leave our rover here and go inside. Okay, some kind of beetle and witches. Easy beetles. I've barely stepped in and some beetles are already attacking me. The first note, guys. Wait, there's these skeletons jumping around. In this tomb, there's sarcophagi and chests everywhere. Most likely there are treasures inside them, and something tells me that if we open them, we'll awaken the spirits. Has that ever stopped me? Let's go in, guys. It's much easier to deal with all these skeletons or mummies with a gun. Okay, let's take the gold and note. In this tomb lives the spirit of the pharaoh. They say he cursed this desert, making it impossible to escape. But there's a legend that the key to leaving this desert is in the ancient Golden City. This city the pharaoh built to protect his subjects, but they betrayed him. The spirit of the pharaoh sent a sandstorm to the city, which buried it almost completely, leaving only the golden roofs of the buildings on the surface. People left the most prosperous city of the desert forever. Okay, so about the big city, it's definitely very interesting, and I think it's our next goal. So let's continue exploring this tomb and destroying all these mummies. And then we'll see what's what. Okay, some kind of golden sword, an uncraftable potion. I probably shouldn't drink it. How lucky are we to have a gun now, guys? It's much easier to deal with all these monsters.
While I was looting resources, something unexpected happened. The appearance of the pharaoh, which I absolutely wasn't prepared for.
Whoa, wait, what's that? What is that, guys? What even is that?
If I hadn't managed to block the passage with sand, this pharaoh would have probably destroyed me.
What even was that? Here's the pharaoh's sarcophagus and there's absolutely nothing in it. I just almost ended survival right there. I have no words, guys. What to do with him, I have no idea. Alright, let's try to destroy him from here.
It took a lot of time for this. I barely managed to defeat him.
Come on, a little more. He's also regenerating HP. Okay, got him. I managed to get him. These are just a ton of resources here. Let's try to grab them now. An epic shader bag, some kind of guardian. What are you? Some kind of protection? Alright, let's put it on. And that's it. Nothing else. Nothing. Yeah. I don't know what kind of pharaoh that was, but he spawned these mummies and they're just so annoying.
The rest of the day went very smoothly. I fully looted the tomb, found many artifacts and a lot of useful loot. But the most valuable thing I found were the coordinates of that city mentioned in the note.
Guys, now we have the coordinates. The city is far from us though, but what can we do? Basically, I looted everything I could here. Let's get out of here, picking up gold along the way. So we won't go straight to the city. Let's return home and sort all the loot. And after that, we'll head to the new coordinates. Start the car. Let's go.
On day 18, I was back home. Yeah, I had to drive far, but we were really saved by that same boiler, which kept us from having water problems. First things first, I harvested all the crops and also decided to improve and decorate the house a little bit.
These lanterns, guys, I've been needing to install them for a while, and finally we have some beautiful lighting. I also think I'll dig a couple of new rooms because we only have one, as well as a farm, to make a separate bedroom and probably a separate storage room. And this this will be our living room entrance.
I spent the entirety of day 18 and 19 on this, but it turned out just great. Also, on day 19, I visited new dungeons. They were scorpion dens. There were quite a few of them, but I was more interested in the chests, where you could find a lot of loot. Probably the scorpions dragged stuff from everywhere and could find in their dens.
Yeah, guys, there's definitely too many scorpions here, but still, we'll try to deal with them. Whew, okay, scorpions are tough. They just don't know that my camels are guarding me, otherwise they just scatter.
On day 20, the temperature in the desert rose again, but this time it was serious.
Wait, why am I on fire? Wait, I'm burning in the sun. What does that mean?
Yes, friends, from this day on, just being in the sun during the day was impossible. Now, to move around the desert, you had to place blocks above yourself or do it at night, in the morning, or in the evening. During peak of the sun, you could easily get fried. I was just shocked by this.
Well, guys, what can I say? I had no idea this could happen. This makes our survival like a billion times more complicated.
I urgently ran, or rather walked while placing blocks above myself to my beloved Rover. And still, we could keep going because we were above our roof. It seemed like there were no effects on the Rover so far, but one thing was clear. We needed to find a way out of this desert as soon as possible. Because if we just continue to develop here, we could most likely just fry alive.
Okay, guys, I don't know what awaits us next, but I'm not planning to stay here for 100 days. We need to get out of here as soon as possible.
As you know, I already had experience surviving in the Rover twice. Once in the swamp, I learned that it was endless, and here we learned from the note that somehow the Pharaoh enchanted this desert. And to get out of it, we needed to visit the ancient city.
It's day 25, guys, and I probably won't stay here any longer. So I'm gonna gather all of my things and embark on the biggest journey in the history of the Rover series.
The second part of the video begins, which is called the adventure. Our task is to reach the abandoned city, overcoming difficulties along the way. If we succeed, we can successfully escape from this desert.
We're on a long road on our great journey. I don't know what we'll encounter along the way, but our main goal is to reach the city.
Of course, along the way, I looted ruins, finding many new resources which I stored in the storage in my Rover. Survival in the hottest desert is probably one of the most atmospheric experiences. Around us, there's nothing but sand, scorpions, bushes, and also in a Rover, trillions of tons of sand, all in the search of the lost city, finding which means we will win. The next day, I noticed some kind of cave and decided to stop by to take a closer look.
Okay, guys, as you understand, we need to get there, but the sun is still quite high, so I'm under a limestone block. Purely theoretically, if you go out like this and place a block, you won't have time to get burned. So that's how we'll try to build directly to this cave. I probably have like 1 or 2 seconds where I can stay without blocks above me. Otherwise, that's it, guys. At this rate, I might not make it to that lost city. We're under a canopy, that's already reassuring. Wait, we can attach a silencer. Great, okay, that's perfect. Well, here we have the most common loot, guys. Nothing special. But we found a silencer though, so that's cool. It's already evening, by the way. At this time, we can safely go out. Yeah, okay, we can go out and run around without any blocks. And of course, it looks unusual. If an alien sees me, he probably won't understand. Alright, guys, there's a lot of skeletons here. Okay, a lot of skeletons, guys. They're still burning in the sun even now. I'm not sure if it was worth coming here and spending so much ammo, but I really hope I'll find something more valuable here. I actually used up all the ammo, guys, that I had in my inventory. This cave is just huge. Just look at it. There's these monsters that keep spawning here. Okay, but maybe there's something interesting. Rounds? Okay, that's so huge. How am I even supposed to navigate here? Oh, wait, a scope. No way. Okay, now we have a fully upgraded pistol. It was probably worth coming here for this alone. This guy doesn't look really good. Wait, are these excavations of some kind? Of a temple? That's kind of weird, guys, to say the least. Alright, I'm already glad I came here, but I would like to find some decent loot. A big iron sword? Twice the damage as my previous one? Okay, that's actually really great. Okay, I found a diamond chestplate. Okay, and diamond leggings? Basically, I think we've looted everything we could here. I think we can slowly start heading back home. The cave is really unusual. I didn't find a single note, but still, we found new armor, upgraded the pistol, and even fought some really cool monsters for fun. Who knows what awaits us in this lost city? We looted the cave, guys, and we're gonna keep going. Okay, it's still gonna take more than 1 day to get to the city, so let's be patient and keep going.
On my way over the next few days, I encountered new animals. For example, monitor lizards, even more camels, and even hyenas. They all fit perfectly into this desert. I just don't know how they weren't overheating.
Guys, I'm almost at the coordinates, just a little bit more left.
By the evening of this day, I saw the outlines of the city.
Guys, it can't be. Actually, look. That's insane. We made it. Woohoo! Woo! Finally, guys. Wow. Okay, now let's just find what we need. By the way, I don't know what we need.
I plan to fully explore the city. I was most drawn to this huge building in the middle. That's where I decided to go.
What do we have here? Okay, some kind of monument and a note. To lift the curse and escape from the desert, you need to find the scarab. It's in this city. Placing it in the flask will lift the curse.
Everything was very easy until at that moment I finished reading the note. A huge number of monsters appeared all over the city, and a sandstorm started.
Okay, guys, I think the sandstorm has started and there's just a ton of monsters here now. Okay, let's just go down. I don't know how I'm gonna look for the scarab in such conditions when there's so many monsters. Alright, I don't see anything except for these monsters, but let's start searching anyway. Alright guys, the firehouse, we'll just try to loot and find something here. Diamonds, okay? Some sort of gang leader spawn. What else is this? Oh, there he is. Look, he's running after me. Oh my god. Oh, come on. Okay, better get out of here. Guys, I just need to get out of here. They're starting to fight among themselves for some reason. Just a little bit more. Okay, ready. Oh, that was tough. Anyway, guys, I think... Wait. What? A cat? There was some kind of cat? Alright, whatever. Guys, I'm down to 4 HP. I don't even know how these columns are really tough. Oh, he left me with 2 HP, guys. Guys, I really hope I can find this scarab as soon as possible.
Continuing to search for this relic for some time, I finally managed to find it. By the way, it's worth noting that due to the sandstorm, you could easily run around in the sun.
The scarab! Look, guys, I found the scarab! I found it! Whoa, okay, and I got some achievement. Oh, whoa, okay, cat, don't scare me. I need to hurry back and place the scarab as soon as possible. Alright, guys, there's so many of them here. Run, come on, faster! Keep running, just keep running. Okay, guys, the stairs are here. Almost there, just a little bit more. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. That's it, guys.
We managed to find the most important relic of this video and defeat the curse of this desert.
You have dispelled the curse over the desert. Any of the other 4 sides will show you the way. But remember, the sun spares no one.
By the next morning, I got into my rover and drove wherever my eyes could see. The map changed, and literally just 500 blocks later, I saw a green biome. We completed the entire rover survival journey in 95 days, including survival in a snowstorm, in a dead swamp, and in the hottest desert. And we managed to escape from this desert itself in 29 days. Thanks for watching this video, guys. If you like it, be sure to leave a like, watch my other videos, and subscribe to the channel. Good luck to everyone. Bye bye.